Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna, everyone. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Excuse me. Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text number 1. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya yatvanyayad itarataschateeshva abhignaha swarata tene brahma hridaya adhikavaye mohiyanti yat surayaha tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha dhamna svina sada nirasta kuhakam satyam param dhimahi. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature, appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining. So we start Srimad Bhagavatam actually today with first canto and first chapter. So every class we'll try to cover the whole chapter so that we can finish Srimad Bhagavatam in 335 weeks. That's a long time. So here we see that Srimad Bhagavatam, actually we were able to receive this knowledge because of the mercy of Krishna. Krishna, he appeared 540 years ago as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to preach to us Srimad Bhagavatam, not just theoretically, but by practical demonstration. And so, if we want to really understand Srimad Bhagavatam, first of all, we need to hear submissively. And secondly, we need the mercy of Krishna as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So since this is such an important point, so I thought even Srila Prabhupada in the introduction, he says that we should try and hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and understand, the real merit of Srimad Bhagavatam from him. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared in Mayapur in 1486, and his father was Jagannath Mishra and mother Sachi Devi. He was present on this earth for about 48 years. Now, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he appeared as a devotee. to show us how to be a devotee of Krishna, to preach to us that Krishna, he himself, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, you can see the golden books up there. Those are, about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, that level is higher than Srimad Bhagavatam. So, once we complete Srimad Bhagavatam, then we'll go to those golden books called the Chaitanya Charitamrita, if we survive. So many pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are listed in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that clearly show that he is the Supreme Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started what is called a Yuga Dharma. Now this is Kali Yuga. So the dharma, the religion for this Kali Yuga is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So even in fact, the Vedas clearly mention the Yuga Dharma being the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There's a beautiful verse. Krite yadhyayato Vishnu tretayam yajato make dvapare paricharyam kalau tad Hari Kirtana. That in Kali Yuga, Kalau, the process for self-realization is by chanting the holy names of the Lord. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also accepted a bona fide spiritual master, Ishvara Puri, who gave him the order that you don't do anything but just chant the holy names. So we can see that even though the Supreme Lord, he doesn't need a spiritual master, but he still accepted to show us that it is important to have a bona fide spiritual master. He even taught us how to perform devotional service. Bhakti. Bhakti is devotional service, and how to protect our devotional service. You see, just like he gave the example of a creeper, right? We sow the seeds and then we water it. And once it starts growing, then we put a fence around it to protect it, right? So this Bhakti Lata Bij, the seed of Bhakti, is sown by the spiritual master in the heart of his disciple. And then the disciple waters that Bhakti seed by chanting the holy names Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then protects it by the association of devotees. Because what happens when we are in the association of devotees, we remain spiritually enlightened. We remain on the path of bhakti. So this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us, how to chant the holy names at the same time avoiding the offenses. So the purpose, as I mentioned in the previous class also, the purpose of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is so that we can develop love for Krishna. We want to advance spiritually. So if we chant, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, if we chant and we serve the devotees, then we will be able to take shelter of him and become perfect in life. He left only 8 verses for us, which is called the Shikshastakam. And when we meditate on those 8 verses, maybe one class we will do just on those 8 verses, that can help us cleanse our heart of all unwanted things. But the thing is, to chant, he says we should chant in a humble state of mind, be more tolerant, than a tree, be more humble than a blade of grass. Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahisna, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sadahari. Sada means always, always chanting the holy names of the Lord. So now, after hearing about a little bit about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, let us start the Srimad Bhagavatam with Canto 1, Chapter 1. The title of this chapter is Questions by the Sages. As I have mentioned earlier, questions are very, very important, because unless we ask questions, unless we inquire, we will not be able to clarify our doubts. We will not be able to really clearly understand the spiritual knowledge. You see, Srimad Bhagavatam, it gives us what you call, it gives us different kinds of knowledge. It gives us, it talks about jnana kanda, karma kanda, upasana kanda. Karma kanda means like those who perform ritualistic activities because they want to reach the heavenly planets. Why? Because there is better enjoyment, there is more opulence over there, you see. So then there is Jnana Kanda where they only want knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. But then Upasana Kanda, which is worshipping of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, it is not because I have invited you to come and hear Srimad Bhagavatam and so you are hearing it. No. Srimad Bhagavatam can be heard only by those, according to Srila Prabhupada and the scriptures, only those who have acquired a lot of pious credit. Those who have done a lot of pious deeds in their past, they get the opportunity to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are all very fortunate not only to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, but to hear it in a strict disciplic succession, which is parampara. So as I mentioned in the previous class, Srila Vyasadeva, who wrote the Vedas, who wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam also, he clearly states in today's first verse that we read that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he is the cause of all causes. And it also says that Krishna imparted the spiritual science, the spiritual knowledge to Brahma in the heart, straight in the heart. Tene Brahma Hridaya Kavya, that he imparted this knowledge into the heart of Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma, when he started praying to the Lord after he appeared, the first verse he said was, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He also said, Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead and you're the cause of all causes. You see? So it's important that we hear the spiritual knowledge in strict disciplic succession. Now the question may arise, why? Because the authenticity of the data, the spiritual knowledge is maintained. The spiritual knowledge comes down to us as it is, no change at all. So in this verse, we see Srila Vyasadeva, who is Krishna himself, he says, I meditate upon you, Krishna, because you're the absolute truth. So here, first of all, he's offering obeisances. That's why you must have noticed whenever we start a spiritual discourse, we always offer obeisances. We say, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We offer obeisances to our spiritual master, Om Ajnanatimirandasya, Jnananjana Shalakya. That, oh, my dear spiritual master, I was in darkness and you have opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. So offering obeisances is also very important. And Srimad Bhagavatam can be understood only by those who are pure in heart, only those who understand difference between reality and illusion. And Srila Prabhupada says that Srimad Bhagavatam is sufficient. We don't need anything else. If we want to realize Krishna, if we want to become self-realized, Srimad Bhagavatam is sufficient. But, I say there's a big but. If one hears Srimad Bhagavatam attentively and submissively, no challenging attitude at all. No, there should not be a challenge. Oh, let me see what does the Bhagavatam has to say. Why this and why that? No. Hear it submissively because these are the words of the Supreme Lord. When we hear it submissively, then we will grow spiritually and Krishna will be established in our heart. Now one may say, hey, Krishna is already in the heart. So that means we will realize that Krishna is in the heart. And right now, theoretically, we know Krishna is in the heart. Why? Because Krishna said so, right? Sarva se chaham hridi sanivishto. Yes, but the realization will come when we hear attentively and submissively. And then what will be the result? We will not be affected by any dualities, whether it is hot or cold, happiness, distress, success, failure. It will not matter at all. Why? Because we'll reach the stage of complete satisfaction. There'll be no impurities in the heart. So, submissive hearing leads to spiritual growth. We will start progressing spiritually. You see, we have noticed in this material world, people are running, not literally running, but running after so many things, for wealth, for power, for status, for position, possessions, just running, running, running. How many of them are interested in spirituality? Most are interested in seeing how can I satisfy my senses, how I can be happy, how I can be peaceful. But they don't understand trying to satisfy senses in the material world is like a hole in the bucket. We have a bucket and we want to fill it with water, but there's a hole at the bottom. So, what is going to happen? No matter how much water we fill in the bucket, it's all going to drain out. Why? Because there's a hole in that bucket. That is a position of the senses, no matter how hard we try to satisfy them. But in this material world, it will not be possible. So, to be able to really control the senses, we will need to perform austerity. Srila Prabhupada says that austerity is a requisite if we want to progress spiritually. That is why 4 rules are given to us for purification. And that will lead to complete happiness and complete peace of mind. But if we want peace and happiness and not pay a price for it, that is not going to work. So Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam show us how to be happy, right? And that first step is mantra meditation, chanting the holy names of the Lord. So Vyasadeva, he is stating that at the holy place in the forest of Naimisharanya, the great sages had assembled, and the head was Shaunaka Rishi, and they assembled there to perform a fire sacrifice for 1,000 years. If we have a fire sacrifice, if we perform, we get tired in 1 hour. We start shifting. Oh, when is this going to get over? It's so long. They sat down to perform for 1,000 years. But guess what? In this age of Kali, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we don't need to perform those fire sacrifices. All the sacrifice for this age is chanting the holy names of the Lord. So these sages, after performing their morning duties, they gave the seat of esteem to Suta Goswami. Suta Goswami, who was present, a great sage, they wanted to inquire from him, this great sage. So they first of all offered respects. How? By giving an elevated seat, a place for him to sit down. And then they inquired. How? With great respect. So when this chapter is talking about after completing morning duties, that gives us an indication that morning time is the best time for spirituality, to do all spiritual activities. Why? Because it's considered to be in the mood of goodness. And why is an elevated seat given? Because this great sage is going to speak about Srimad Bhagavatam. So an elevated seat is offered to the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, and that seat is called Vyasasana, which means the seat of Vyasadeva. So the sages, they asked questions because they wanted to clear their doubts. And they inquired very submissively so that Suta Goswami can be pleased by their questions and answer them. So they first of all glorified Suta Goswami. You see, they said, "Dear sage, your spiritual master has endowed you with all favor. You are well versed in the scriptures. You have got proper guidance. You're free from four vices. And you are eligible to speak the Srimad Bhagavatam. You see, that's the requirement of the speaker. To first of all be endowed with a favor of his or her guru, should be well versed, should have proper guidance, and free from four vices. So, the secret of success in spiritual life depends on satisfying the spiritual master. That is why in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, we learned Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upatyakshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. That Krishna is telling Arjuna, approach a bona fide spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, render service unto him. The self realized soul, which is a spiritual master, can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. He is connected to the Supreme Lord Krishna. You see? So here, the sages, they are wanting to not only hear from Sutta Goswami, but also get his sincere blessings. So if one really wants to get sincere blessings, one has to be obedient to the instructions of the Lord and the spiritual master, and submissive at the same time. So here the sages are asking Sutta Goswami, please tell us, what have you learned? What is the ultimate good for people? You see, they said in Kali Yuga, the people, they have short lives, they are quarrelsome, they are lazy, they are misguided, they are unlucky, and they are always disturbed. Manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya. Is that something that sounds familiar? You know, people in this age, they are quarrelsome, they are lazy, they have short lives, they are misguided, unlucky, but they are also disturbed. So it is important for us to understand Srimad Bhagavatam so that we can give this knowledge to others and help them also come out of this cycle of birth and death. See, the sages, they could see the symptoms of Kali Yuga, that see, Kali Yuga has approached and this is what it is. This is how people are in Kali Yuga. They have irregular habits, overeating. How many of us overeat? Till we are filled up right up to our neck, and then look for an option to get rid of indigestion. Why? Because we have overeaten. So Prabhupada says that in Kali Yuga, people have irregular habits. Excuse me, overeating, over enjoying the senses, and lazy when it comes to bhakti yoga. When it comes to a matter of self realization, they procrastinate. They like, oh, we will do it, when we are old. And when they are old, they have no energy. They can't hear properly. They can't see properly. Body is like very weak, etc. There's no desire for self-realization in Kali Yuga. Why? Because people are so involved in satisfying their senses. Their minds are always disturbed, full of anxieties. So if one wants to come out of this cycle of anxieties, then it is important to hear Srimad Bhagavatam eagerly. Eager to learn about Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. Like these sages, they wanted to learn. They wanted to know about Krishna and his incarnations. They wanted to know how to become free of the cycle of birth and death. They wanted to know the essence of all the Vedic scriptures. And they also told the Goswami that when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, it not only uplifts the speaker, but also those who are hearing it. The sages were very concerned because people were so entangled in this material world. So Prabhupada says that if somehow or the other one becomes fortunate to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, one should surrender unto the Lord. Because when we surrender, at least to the devotees, those who are surrendered, then those surrendered devotees, they sanctify everybody that they meet. And Prabhupada says this happens immediately. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Kai, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Just by associating with pure devotees, even for a split second, one can become pure. Whereas the sages are comparing the association of pure devotees to river Ganges. You see, we've heard that those who go and dip in the river Ganges, they get rid of their sins, they purify themselves. But here the sages are saying that a moment's association with a pure devotee can immediately remove all the sins, whereas the water of the Ganges sanctifies after a prolonged use. So that shows that pure devotees are more powerful compared to the sacred Ganges water. So here the sages, they are requesting respectfully to Sutta Goswami that you please narrate the transcendental pastimes of Krishna. The Lord who is glorified by hymns and prayers, we want to hear about him. So those who have developed a taste for, hearing about Krishna, they have that transcendental relationship with Krishna. They want to hear Srimad Bhagavatam all the time. They relish the pastimes of Krishna every moment. You see, that's the difference between mundane stories, the novels, and all, stories that we have in the material world, and Srimad Bhagavatam that narrates the pastimes of Krishna. So the sages, they are telling Sutta Goswami, the age of Kali Yuga has already begun, and we have all assembled here in this holy place, forest of Naimisharanya, and we want to hear about Krishna. And this age, especially this Kali Yuga, is very, we can say we are fortunate to be in this age because there is a very easy method for self-realization. Just by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, we can become purified and self-realized. So the sages are saying that we have met here by the will of providence, and we want to accept you as a captain of our ship. Excuse me, captain of our ship. So those who desire to cross over this material ocean, this material world, it's important to have a captain of our ship. See, we can consider that this body of ours is like a ship. Now, this body needs to cross over this material world. So this body, which is like a ship, needs a captain. And that captain is a bona fide spiritual master. When we have the mercy of the Guru, then we can easily cross this material ocean. You see, this age is very dangerous for human beings because most human beings have forgotten their real identity. They have forgotten, that the goal is self-realization. They have forgotten their relationship with Krishna. And so people will gradually lose their memory. They will lose their finer sentiments. They lose their strength. They will lose their better qualities. So according to the sages, this age is difficult or dangerous for human beings. Why? Because this Kali Yuga, it reduces the good qualities of human beings. So we, all of us today, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, we are very fortunate because Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, they are nothing but they are manuals for human beings. that show us how to lead a human form of life. They're teaching us how to lead a good human life, not just eat, sleep, and mate and defend like animals. No, we use our philosophical intelligence and inquire like the sages are inquiring. And how are they inquiring? Submissively. That is a very important point. Submissively, they are asking questions. They want to know what is the ultimate good for people, how to become free from anxieties, how to break the cycle of birth and death. You see? So, when this inquiry happens, then answers come. That is when we can receive the answers. And this is how one can grow spiritually. Inquire, remove the doubts, and become self realized. You see? So, this whole first chapter of first canto is questions by the sages. The sages are inquiring for our benefit. Because if they had not asked questions, Sutta Goswami or Sukadev Goswami would not have replied. And then there would be no Srimad Bhagavatam. And then we would be lost in this material world, not understanding what is the goal of human life. So we take on this knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam in a submissive mood, hear it attentively, and put it into practice. And the practice begins with first step, which is mantra meditation. Very, very important to chant the holy names of the Lord given to us by Krishna himself in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He gave us that for Kali Yuga, the Maha Mantra is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is how this first chapter of Canto 1 ends. So I will end here. So if anyone, has any questions